Hi, today we are going to tackle about the story of Juana la Loca. But before we dive into the topic, let me first discuss to you the meaning of psychoanalytic approach. Psychoanalytic criticism adopts the methods of reading employed by Sigmund Freud and later theorists to interpret text. It argues that literary texts, like dreams, express the secret unconscious desires and anxieties of the author, and that a literary work is manifestation of the author's own neuroses. So, back to our main topic. The question is Juana mad, or was she just being undermined by her own husband? Let me answer that as I discuss further. Born on November 6, 1479, Juana spent most of her youth learning about politics and studying foreign language. She also displayed her passion in music. She was educated formally by her mother, Queen Isabella I of Castile, and formally trained for a significant marriage that, as a royal family alliance, and would extend the kingdom's power and security as well as its influence and peaceful relations with other ruling powers. These shows are key concepts of the story, which is the superego, wherein the parent of Juana must be the one to govern over the child's future. Though Juana filled herself with knowledge, at the end of the day she must still follow her parents to get married, to whom she never laid her eyes on. The developing superego absorbs the tradition of the family and the surrounding society and serves to control aggressive or other socially unacceptable impulses. The superego continues to develop into young adulthood as a person encounters other admired role models and cope with rules and regulations of the large society. Hence, this is where the real story begins when she gets married to Philip, who was also nicknamed the Handsome. Due to her parents' demand, Juana, at the age of 16, was betrothed to the 18-year-old Philip of Flanders in the Low Countries. Juana immediately smitten by her husband, and so thus Philip. Philip was very pleased by her innocence and beauty that he orders the marriage to take place at that very moment without delay. The union is indeed a success. The political alliance of the two countries has been consolidated, and the couple were both attracted with each other. She gave birth to 6 children, 2 boys and 4 girls, all of whom grew up to be either emperor or queens. But the insecure girl, unprotected in a foreign land, soon discovered the vagaries of fortune. Rumors of her husband's affair provoked Juana to brief hysterical outbursts and of weeping and anger and in a long silent melancholy. Philip failed to support her wife and retinue as the marriage contract stipulate, causing her further chagrin. These were the ideal self-show. According to Sigmund Freud, it is how we want to be. Despite of Philip's unfaithfulness to Juana, Juana is still an idealized image, which she developed over time, based on what she learned and experienced. The ideal self could include components of what our parents have taught to us, what we admire in others, what our society promotes, and what we think is in our best interest. But when she was surprised when she saw her husband with a lover, who she later found out as one of the court lady, in a fit of jealousy, Juana cuts the long red hair of her rival. Her tantrums over her husband's infidelities have made her known to Juana la Loca. Sigmund Freud compared the personality to an iceberg. What you see above the water is actually a tiny piece of the entire iceberg, most of which is hidden under the water. And what Juana's behavior towards her husband and her rival shows her true self, or the id which acts as the driving forces of her personality. As people grow older, it would obviously be quite problematic if they acted out to satisfy the needs of the id whenever they felt an urge, need, or desire. Juana fulfills the urges of her anger to be able to cope with the jealousy that has been created inside her. Juana's story lends itself to interpretation at the individual or political level. At the extreme, She is either a woman whose obsessive love and jealousy generate into madness, or the helpless victim of the Machiavellian conspiracies of her husband. She presents with a lonely figure whose mental fragility adds to the pathos of her character. Up until now, the question if Juana's mad or was she just undermined by her husband is still a mystery. It is thought that Juana may have suffered from a wide range of mental illness, including schizophrenia and depression. However, it does seem that her behavior escalated in response to the death of her siblings, her nephew, her mother, and her husband. Both Philip and Charles had a lot to gain from Juana being declared unfit to rule. She was also sent, or perhaps banished, to a convent by her son and nor allowed any visitors for the rest of her life. So, was Juana mad, or was she just a victim of ruthless individuals in her life? But one thing is for sure, Juana done nothing wrong but to obey her parents and love her husband in her entire life. Just like Juana, we also live under the rule and protection of our parents. Our actions must depend on their will and we must obey orders from them. We do things where we think it makes us a good child to our parents, even if it is not what makes us happy. But when we grow older, we tend to make things our own way, and maybe what makes us mad if something happens that will provoke us, that will hurt our feelings, and the only way to get out is to burst and vent out that raging feelings inside us. Just like Juana, we also have our own iceberg. It just depends on us if what side we would like the people to see.